Welcome to Ty's Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Today is August. I was going to say the 24th, but I don't think it's the 24th. Today is the 23rd, 2025. We got some pay-per-views that will be happening on this weekend. We got Forbidden Door, and I believe we got Heat Wave coming up as well. Clash in Paris is going to be next weekend. The last weekend of August. That's pretty interesting. Whew. We're going to be talking about WWE Smackdown because, ladies and gentlemen, we have an interesting Smackdown. It was in Dublin. I did not know it starts at 3 because the ad of it, the picture that I saw on Instagram, it said 8 o'clock Eastern Time. And I'm in Easter time. And, yeah, for some reason it started at 3. So I didn't get to watch the show until I watched the repeat of the show. And there was spoilers anyways, so there's no point of it. But I still watched it. There were spoilers. But they didn't show us I didn't read all of it. But I just read some of it. And ladies and gentlemen, we did get 2 segments in this show. Ladies and gentlemen, John Cena came out, and he was going crazy with the fans. But when he was about to say something, Logan Paul came out. And he had a lot of things to say about John Cena, call him a fake, and he's a phony, and all that stuff. He just talked trash to John Cena. When John Cena talked trash to Logan Paul, everybody went nuts, because he talked about Logan Paul's illegal problems, his troubles. He even called him a user because he's using WWE as a branding thing. John Cena went outside the ring and went to the Prime stand, and he said, "You're just using us for your own product." And he says, just to buy another Pokemon card. And he throws the stand on the ground, and all the Prime bottles went all over the ground. He stick the middle finger at him as well. He says, you had 23 matches. Because Logan Paul says he put his body on the line. But John Cena says, you only had 23 matches. John Cena did 23 years in the WWE where he put his body on the line. Logan Paul never had any street fights. He never had a Hell in a Cell or steel cage. Why in the world you put your body on the line? It's your idea to jump through an announce table. Nobody told you to do that. So technically you put your own body on the line. You didn't do it for the WWE. You just want to do it for your Instagrammers. I know John Cena didn't say that. But ladies and gentlemen, and Cena says, the only deal that we have is that we have a match at Clash in Paris. And he wants him to bring his A game. But you saw Logan Paul shoving John Cena multiple times and then try to punch Cena, but Cena reversed it and did an AA until Logan Paul. And he celebrated with the fans and he left. That wasn't the last time we saw John Cena and Logan Paul. I'll tell you guys more about that when we get there. To start off Friday Night Smackdown, we got Becky Lynch. Monday Night Raw, Dublin's very own Becky Lynch. She said that we deserve it, and then she said, no, you guys didn't deserve this. You didn't deserve WWE's first ever Smackdown coming to Dublin live on TV. She says she deserves it, and everybody was chanting for Lara. Becky says she won't be able to fight me because she can't get a title shot and all that stuff. She just got mad, and she talked about her hot American husband, Seth Rollins. The fans chanted CM Punk, and she said nobody wants that old guy. And ladies and gentlemen, she keeps mentioning that she deserves it, naming everything that she done and all that stuff, until she got interrupted by the women's champion, Tiffany Stratton. Tippy time! She came out and she said, she had some things. She said she just get tired of Becky Lynch. She says, you don't go here. You're not on SmackDown. So you can leave or I have to make you leave. And then Nia Jax came out and she says, I'm not just your problem. You have two problems now. And then Nia Jax attacked Tiffany Stratton with a horrible push. Oh man, it's like bullies. It's like bullies trying to push people, and they didn't really do well. And then we got Becky Lynch and Nia Jax attacking Tiffany Stratton, stomping on her. And then Jade Cargill came out to make the save. And then Nick Aldis, he got a big pop as well from Dublin. He got, he made an announcement. He talked to Adam Pearce that Big Time Bex will be in his Big Time main event. It'll be Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton versus Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. Well, it looks like the YS6 is trying to find victims. Because all these segments we had with who we had? Mello, Don't Miz, and Praxium. We got Joe Gacy and Dexter watching. When we had Meechin and Julia and Kiana James was doing a segment. Nikki Cross, creepy as hell, was going up the stairs and listening in on Miss Julia and Mitch's thing. And when we heard about Sami Zayn and Jimmy Uso, when Sami congrats Jimmy Uso with a pregnancy with Naomi, and Solo came as well. Solo told Jimmy that you could name your baby of your best uncle, Solo Sikoa, and all that stuff. And we did hear that next week it will be Solo Sikoa defending the United States title against Sami Zayn in France. Ladies and gentlemen, so yeah, that's happening. And we got Eric Rowan watching that segment. He was in the truck. Creepy as hell beat these people. Uncle Howdy was not watching these guys, but the rest of the guys, they've been watching. Well, ladies and gentlemen, first match of the evening, Praxium is telling Carmelo Hayes, don't trust Miz. He's a user. And Miz came up and he said, oh, I'm a user. And then Carmelo Hayes tried to kiss some butts, telling everybody what Miz is. He's a legend. He's a multi-time champion, 10-time tag team champion, and all that stuff. So we got Melo Don't Miz versus Motor City Machine Guns. It was a pretty decent tag team match. And again, these guys don't know how to work together. They were tagging each other in and all that stuff, arguing. But somehow, the arguing got them to win. And then we got Piper Niven versus Charlotte Flair. Piper Niven had her teammates, Alba Fire and Chelsea Green. But Charlotte Flair did not have her tag team partner, one half of the women's tag team champions, Alexa Bliss, in her corner. So there was a lot of distractions, a lot of help from Alba Fire and Chelsea Green. And Piper Niven just beats Charlotte Flair. Well, we had a great tag team match. We got Street Profits versus JC Mateo and Tonga Loa of the MFTs. There was some help from Talau Tonga and Solo, but you got Jimmy Uso taking out Tala, and you got Sami Zayn taking out Solo Sikoa, and the Street Profits just won the match against JC Mateo and Mr. Tonga Loa. We were supposed to have an Aleister Black versus R-Truth, but R-Truth went to the wrong Dublin. So he went on the Titantron and he says, it's my bad, but he has a replacement with his best friend, Damian Priest. It didn't happen. The match didn't happen between Damian Priest and Aleister Black. These guys just brawled, and security and referees, everybody has to come out and stop these guys from brawling. Well, we have our main event. Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill will be versus Nia Jax and Becky Lynch. Pretty decent main event, but the winner of that match was Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill. Jade Cargill told Tiffany, I want you 100%, because when I take this title, you can't have any excuses when I take it. That's why she came out and helped Tiffany Stratton in the beginning of Smackdown. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Nick Aldis catched up with John Cena and told John Cena that he heard from Brock Lesnar. He was about to say something else until Logan Paul knocks out John Cena with that punch. And then he ran away, and they called his chase off, tried to chase Logan Paul to end Friday Night Smackdown. So that's going to be interesting to see. What does Brock Lesnar have to say to Nick Aldis? When are we going to see John Cena versus Brock Lesnar? WrestlePalooza that's coming up in September on ESPN and Netflix and international times, places, or a Survivor Series. People are saying Cena's last match will be at Saturday Night's Main Event that will happen in December. I hope it's not at Saturday Night's Main Event, because Saturday Night's Main Event is not a big show. You're having your top guy, John Cena, having a retire match, and you're not going to put him on a top show for his last match? I think his last match should be on a Raw or a Smackdown, not on the Saturday Night's Main Event. But if it's going to be his last PLE, I say Survivor Series. That's one of the top 4 that everybody's been always talk about. The top 4 is Survivor Series, WrestleMania, Royal Rumble, and SummerSlam. And I think Survivor Series should be his last PLE. When the last time he beats in WWE. And his last match should be on a Raw or SmackDown. With one of he mentioned some guys like Jacob Fatu, AJ Styles, all these legendary guys, and I would like to see John Cena face one of them. Maybe not Jacob Fatu, because I don't want to see Jacob Fatu get buried by John Cena. The guy deserves to win, but if we're going to have John Cena to win, I think it should be AJ Styles, because AJ Styles beat John Cena. He had big matches. I don't think AJ Styles has a problem of losing to a legendary guy, John Cena, on his last match. Like Sheamus with Edge. Edge had his last match with Sheamus, and I don't think Sheamus had a problem of losing to Edge in Toronto on his last match in WWE. It's not his retirement match. It was just his last match in the WWE. But this is John Cena's retirement match. Who in the world will say no to that? Because they have to lose. If I was a wrestler, I would like to face John Cena for the last time, because this is going to be anyone's last time to face John Cena. If it's a young guy that never had a match with John Cena, never walked in the same path of John Cena, who the heck is going to say no to that? Because you have to lose. It's a dream match, and you want to see these matches. And if it's Cena's last match, he should win. Survivor Series, he might lose, because if it's against Brock Lesnar, and if it's Brock Lesnar's first match back in the WWE, I think Brock Lesnar is going to win. I don't see Cena beating Brock Lesnar. I think he did it once. Didn't he do it once? He did that at Extreme Rules, I think. 2012? In an Extreme Rules match? I think I watched that show live. I thought I did. I didn't watch it. I watched it live on TV. I didn't watch it live like I went to it. Because it wasn't in Canada. It was in some other place. But I think he won that match. I think he won that match. I think so. I remember CM Punk was in that pay-per-view as well. I think he was in a street fight against Chris Jericho. If you guys didn't read about the rumors, people think Chris Jericho might be coming back to WWE in 2026 after his contract expires. He hasn't done anything lately in AEW, so maybe he could come back. Does anyone really care? I think a lot of people care. I think people will care. But I like to see independent wrestlers come to WWE. They've been doing great with that. And I don't know what you guys think, but I think Rusev is having an awesome run right now. I understand he's not in the championship one. He's not in the championship picture. But the guy is having great matches over and over again. Like, we having a great match between Sheamus and Rusev the past couple weeks, and we're going to get it again. And he's finally going to be in the pay-per-view PLE. And even Aleister Black, he had a great thing with Carmelo Hayes. I know I'm not talking about the Andrade's matches, but he had great matches with Carmelo Hayes. He's having a great feud with Damian Priest. The guy, he's the newest one that showed up in WWE, so he doesn't need a championship right away. But he's having great matches. I enjoy watching Aleister Black matches. He's having great matches. He's showing on every single time on TV. So as Rusev, I know he's Aleister Black is doing some small things like little videos, but he's getting shown. Right? He's not like he's disappeared and not shown, and he's not injured or suspended or anything. He doesn't get shown. And his rest of his team wrestles, except for him, on AEW. So yeah, at least he's getting shown on TV. He's getting some screen time. At least he's getting that. Right? He's having great matches. I'm enjoying the Rusev and Aleister Black runs on Smackdown and Raw. Pretty good. Rusev is getting better and better. He looks like a monster now. He looked like a monster back then too, but AEW didn't really make him as a monster because he doesn't. Every time he shows up and he loses, he doesn't show up for a couple of months. Friggin' Rusev loses to Sheamus. He's back next week attacking Sheamus. So, yeah, there's difference. When you lose on AEW, you don't get to get seen for months. Oh, man. Remember the Acclaim. They lost a tag team match, and we haven't seen Anthony Bowens for months until he made his return. The guy wasn't injured. The guy, I know he has to get repackaged because the Acclaim got broken up, but still, we haven't seen him for months. Will we see Brody King and Bandito as a tag team when they lose the tag team title match at Forbidden Door? No, I don't think we will see that again. Because they're not a real tag team, I guess. I don't know. And Bandito has the Ring of Honor World Championship. But ladies and gentlemen, if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button, leave a comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I will see you guys Tuesday? No, not Tuesday. I will see you guys Sunday night when I do NXT's Heatwave results. I'm not going to be watching AEW Forbidden Door. I'm going to be watching Heatwave because there's going to be a lot of wrestlers I don't know their names. And I'm going to just say a whole bunch of names. All that time, that's not right. That's not the right thing. But, so yeah. We're going to watch Heatwave. That's all me today. Tell us out. Bye. And I can watch on Netflix, so it's easier. Bye.